Well, I mean, look, when you're talking about Illuminati, you're discussing a secret society. That's what people talk about, secret societies. But I remind people not to be alarmist about this. You know, if there are people out there who are watching this who say, you know, Technica, you're saying the Illuminati isn't real. No, I'm saying that you don't need to come up with some fantastical, story about a secret cabal of people who wear masks and, you know what I mean? They be having, sex in a weird room with strangers, like that Tom Cruise movie, and you know what I mean? Remove your clothes and all. You don't need to take it to that extreme. If you're looking to talk about people that make decisions for other people's lives without you having any say so whatsoever in it, then you have no further to look for than a corporation, than a giant conglomerate. For example, how about one like Monsanto? We haven't talked about the fact that Monsanto had this quote-unquote Monsanto Protection Act that Obama betrayed America by signing.
President Obama this week signed into law a bill that could have huge consequences on the future of food in the country. The Agricultural Appropriations Bill has been dubbed the Monsanto Protection Act by critics of the agricultural giant. That's because a provision in the law protects genetically modified seed patents from litigation over health risks. So if you get sick, too bad, you can't take it to court.
In other words, for anybody watching this program, when you go to the supermarket with your children and there's two products, and one of them says this product was made with 100% organic goods, and this other product says this product was made with genetically engineered parts that have been known to cause cancer in laboratory animals. Which one would you choose?
Since being signed into law Tuesday, more than 250,000 people have signed a petition to President Obama. It says the law, quote, is unnecessary and an unprecedented attack on U.S. judicial review. Congress should not be meddling with the judicial review process based solely on the special interest of a handful of companies.
Here's the problem with you saying you would choose any of them. You don't have the ability to choose. They've taken that away from you because they won't even let you know what that is. I think that when we discuss Illuminati and when we discuss secret societies, we have no further to look than the corporations, than the Food and Drug Administration. These are real conspiracies. Somebody out there gave a lot of money to a certain campaign for them to be put in that position, and they expect favor back from their politicians, and you're promising them more money when they do. You don't have to talk about Adam Weishaupt. You don't have to talk about medieval Europe and people dressed in robes and blood sacrifices. No, it's a corporation. When people talk about Jay and they were mad at him, they said he was part of Illuminati. Why? It was because the Magna Carta came with an app that asked you to give all the personal contact information, that asked you to have access to your Twitter or your Facebook where they spam the hell out of you. That seems to people like some secret society corporate stuff. That's why they call it Illuminati. As to whether he's really part of a Masonic cult, I can't speak on somebody else's reality, but I do know this much, that if you want to talk about Illuminati, if you want to talk about secret societies, you don't have to go into the fantastical world of your imagination. There are lots of examples of people that make decisions about your life which you are powerless to control. George Carlin said it best. He said, you have the illusion of choice in America. Your real choice, he said, is Pepsi and Coke. You don't get to make a choice about whether we all go to war. If this was the democracy, when George Bush wanted to invade Iraq, he would have come to the people of the United States and said, America, we feel like there still may be, chemical or nuclear weapons in Iraq. And America would have said, we'll go to war, yes, but if you're wrong, someone's got to pay the price for all this.
We can't let the world's worst leaders blackmail, threaten, hold freedom-loving nations hostage with the world's worst weapons.
Or, we don't believe you, Mr. Bush. We think you're lying. Release the tapes of the plane hitting the Pentagon. Release the tapes of a million other things. you know, have some more transparency in government, and then, you know, we'll see if we allow you to put our men and women in harm. Because realistically, we found out that Iraq had no weapons of mass destruction, and that really we were looking for a regime change. And that's not something that I think Americans were willing to sacrifice their sons and daughters for in terms of this war. We thought we were in imminent threat after 9/11, and that's why we did it. So when people talk about Illuminati, or when people talk about secret society, I think that they see it as anybody that strives to be part of that world, that strives to be part of the system. You know what I mean? That wants to be included, that wants to marry into the royalty. You know, I think that I think that at some point, you know, we have to accept that this is a part of entertainment, and if people are using that imagery, they're using it because they want to draw people into the conversation and into making them a topic in their lives.